If you're employed, you're an adult, but you're always broke. Guess what? Haujarogwa, si ati ni nyota ilichukuliwa. Guess one thing, this is the reality. Ni kujipanga ndio shida iko. Have you ever met an individual who tells you, hey, you know what? I am earning myself like a 70,000, 80,000, sometimes even 100,000. But guess what? At the 15th date, 20th, 25th, first date, I'm always broke. And by the way, I'm not even able to meet all the needs or the requirements as far as I'm concerned in my life. Guess what? This is a very pronounced problem. And if I tell you how many times I usually receive calls on that matter, you will be shocked. Just because or by default or by virtue of you earning a lot of money does not mean like everything is placed and everything is okay and their life is amazing. No, that's not the truth. The truth is this: I understand and I came to realize a lot of people do not know how to manage their money. There is a very big gap in what we call the financial literacy. And I bet, I don't want to blame anybody, but of course, you know very well this information or this knowledge was never provided back when we were in school. The entire schooling system, there was nowhere we were told on how we can be able to manage our money. But guess what? On this channel, on this place, I usually share with you that money related knowledge or skills or management skills. Guess what? I usually post a video each and every day talking about all these. Where can you invest your money? The good areas. What business is booming right now? Where can you do it? And how do you go about it? That's what I discuss in this specific channel. And guess what? If you don't want to miss any of my future good videos, you only need to do one thing. It is free, doesn't cost you anything, and takes only 1 second. And I bet you have it. Just down below there is a button on your right. There is a button written subscribe. A very small button. It is in black. Hit that magical button. And of course, like this video. And once you do exactly that, guess what? A whole YouTube will notify you when I upload a new good video. So let's get started. Now, there you are. You're employed. You're entitled to a salary at the end of the month, but you're broke each and every time. Sometimes you're behind your bills. You got some debts with you. You got some what we call the house. You got some mortgages. You got all those things on top of you. You have the school fees. You have to make sure that you live in a neat and good life. There you are. You have a car loan and what have you. So what exactly are you required to do? Let's first of all dig and try to find out what was the genesis of this problem that you're getting yourself into. If you were to close your eyes and try to flash back, there was a time maybe you're earning like 10,000, 15,000, or even 20,000, right? And then life was still okay. You're pushing up on well. And then there was an increment of your salary. Guess what you did? You increased your expenditure. You've migrated from the house you're living in. You went to a different one in terms of higher prices. Then you actually engaged some starters inside of you. You got yourself a very nice phone. You got yourself a very nice car. You got yourself, like you increased. As the salary was increasing, so you increasing your status. And remember one thing, there is a price tag for a status. What do I mean by that point? There is a certain price that you usually pay to finance your status. Like, where do you expect a doctor to live? Where do you expect a teacher to live? Where do you expect an engineer to live? And compare all those guys with a common individual who does business like in Kikomba, Muthurwa, or whichever the place or Kongoya. Where do you expect those guys to live? First of all, you realize there is a price that the doctors, the engineers, and what have you, we call them the corporates, people who work in the corporates. They decide where to live. They want to live in a very nice, elegant, opulence, very nice place, of course, leafy suburbs and what have you. And of course, that comes with a price tag. But another guy who does the Juakali job and works and kind of a thing, they kind of don't even care where they live. Even the way they dress, they don't even care about that. Well, did I say that you should not be care about yourself? No, that's not the point. The point is this. Once there is an increment with your salary and then you're increasing your expenditure. And remember one thing, this expenditure that you're increasing, it's a recurrent expenditure. Meaning it's something that you cannot be able to shake off. You cannot be able to shake off the responsibility of you eating, dressing yourself, paying your school fees if you're married, all right? So those are the things that they will be with you at the rest of your life. So you have to have a very nice and good plan. This is what I always tell people. You Jarogwa, it's not that the nyota of yours has been taken out, okay? All what you need to do is to plan yourself. And remember one thing, even God stops growth where there is no management. You have to know how to manage your money. You have to understand what do I put where. And I always tell you one thing, money is a spiritual thing. As much as you think it's a physical thing, it's more spiritual than it is physical. And there is a sacred language that money understands. And that language, I always repeat myself, it's called budgeting. And don't rest there and believe like budgeting for the rich people. You have to have yourself a very huge amount of money for you to budget. That is not the case. You can budget, and you should budget irrespective of the amount of money that you're earning at the end of the day, month, or the week, or whichever the time that you get paid. Point is this: having yourself a budget in place way before money kicks in is actually telling your money where to go rather than wondering where it went. Or what you need to understand is this: just take a pen and paper, write down all the things that your money goes, all right, where your money goes. If it's about black tax, helping your parents, helping your siblings, educating your whatever, maybe tithing, maybe all those kind of things. Maybe you're servicing a car loan, maybe you're servicing a mortgage, maybe you're getting yourself a debt. And if you were to kind of find out where all those debt is going, you get what I'm saying. Just take a pen and paper, sit down, try to put down all the things that you actually, or where your money is going. Then and only then try to understand or ask yourself, is this thing necessary? Do I really need it? Because let me tell you one secret about the things that we do have in this life are classified into three. Number one, we have what we call the must have. These are the things that you can never negotiate with. These are the things that you have to have them. The food, the shelter, and the clothing. You cannot negotiate. There's no way you can say that, hey, you know what, for the next 1 week, I'm not going to eat. Unless you're fasting, right? So those are the things that you cannot be able to shake off. Number two, there are things that we call the nice to have, or rather, good to have. The good to have things, these are the things that, like a phone. You need a phone to watch Good Joseph's videos so that you understand how it goes. You need a telly, you need a television in your house to know exactly how the world is faring up. You need an electricity. Those are nice to have, right? Number three, or the last one, is the nice to have. The nice to have, these are the things like having yourself an iPhone Pro Max, I don't know, 14, what have you. Those high-end expensive things, and that they can be substituted with a quite well good that it can still perform the same way. So it's good to sit down and paper and try to analyze all the things that you have in your house. Are they good, must, or nice to have? If you analyze on that particular point, then start cutting off all the expenses. Of course, I'm not telling you go ahead and default the loan that you're paying. Of course, you cannot be able to default a loan. You cannot shake it off. You have to repeat until you clear that specific loan. But once you clear that specific loan, then understand this: don't ever get yourself into such a problem. Number two, because some of the people, you realize that they're taking a loan that is they are financing what we call a liability, or something that is taking money from your pocket rather than putting money into your pocket. If you have a loan that you may be servicing, paying a piece of land, well and good, amazing, but it can be wrongly timed. It's a fact. Just because it is an asset does not mean it's appropriate and good at any time. It can be wrongly timed. Okay. Number two, you have to know exactly, this money of mine, the purpose of me actually cutting down all these expenses is to actually increase the surplus, because we actually grow wealth using the surplus. That's for a fact. And by the way, let me tell you one thing: surplus is not there. It is induced. It's an induced thing. It's not a thing that you can just sit down and try to finance all the things that you want, do all the things that your heart and the body tells you, and then by default you expect to have a surplus, unless you are a politician. And of course, you know what I mean by that point. Okay, so the point is this: surplus is created through discipline, sacrificing some things so that at least you can have that surplus, accumulate it somewhere, or store that amount of money somewhere. Of course, attach a certain thing that you want to do with that amount of money. You want to invest. You want to raise a certain capital to invest that money somewhere so that at least you can earn something as a passive income. That is exactly how you do it. Because saving money without any purpose, of course, you can never save yourself to the riches. Nobody has ever done that, actually. And people have already tried it. You don't have to do it by yourself and actually verify and prove it to me after 20, 30 years. Okay? So the point is this: once you decide to put your money somewhere in terms of your savings, of course, you doing so that at least you can raise a certain amount of money in terms of your capital so that you start an investment. So the point is this: don't try to figure out ulirogwa na babako, ulirogwa na mamako, sijui ni auntie yako, I don't know who dies deep. Let me tell you one thing: haujarogwa. The point is this: learn to save your money, learn to cut out the expenses, learn to actually going ahead and knowing exactly this is not what the money wants, this is not what the money needs, this is the appropriate thing to do. Because if you keep on doing the same thing expecting different results, rest assured nothing will ever change. You'll always be there complaining at the high end, believing that you're getting yourself the lowest and the least salary, believing that the only way that you can be able to create yourself a surplus is by an increment of a salary. And there you are expecting an increment of a salary. Not that you're an amazing worker, not that you're an amazing employee, you're just an average employee, right? Okay? So the point is this: work towards actually knowing your expenses, trying to cut those expenses where it is necessary. I'm not saying that you start, sacrificing food and what have you in your family. Of course, that one you become less productive. So make sure that you shake off those things that you know are not so necessary in your life, and then from there, and only that way, that's how you now actually increase that curve in terms of your saving, investment, and later you can actually have more streams of income, because that is the only way you can grow yourself. All right, so you know what, guys, my name is Joseph. If it's for the first time you're watching me, and only thing that I do on this specific channel is to equip you with appropriate knowledge about money, about investment, about businesses, and such kind of a thing. If you're seated out there, would love to have a call with me, a talk with me, grab my number from this description, from the description of this specific video. Give me a call. We can talk and have a discussion about businesses, investment, such kind of a thing. Guess what else I have with me? I have got myself ebooks or booklets that I have them in soft copy form. Books about business plans of any business that you've been thinking, cosmetics, hardware, spare parts, pharmacy, whatever. I have them, a lot of them ready for you. And guess how much it goes for a copy? Only 280 shillings. Just 280 shillings. You get your copy, so you can take multiple of them. All right. I have booklets about investments like shares, treasury bonds, treasury bills, money market funds, circles, and all those kind of things. You can pick a copy. And for those who are looking for online jobs, I have a booklet for you. Has 100 of them, and it's only 220. You can grab a copy. We get started. That's how we do it. So for now, I just want to say it's a goodbye. But don't forget to comment down below. Tell me what you think, and what problem have you been facing, and what do you think, or what did you do so you got yourself out of it. For now, it's a goodbye, and see you in the next one.